Hey there, Tiffany here. Excited to talk with you. Do not scroll, don't go anywhere because we are going to unlock 3 essentials that you need to systemize your business. Tiffany, what are systems? It's the way that you organize your business so that you get more done by doing less work. Simply because as a solopreneur, you start your business to do amazing things, but those things don't take place because you become overwhelmed in the chaotic structure of pushing paper. You become the administrator, you become the secretary in your business. And I know that you could agree with me when I say that you did not start your business to be its secretary. Would you agree? Right? Go ahead and drop agree in the comment box. So let's talk about what it is very quickly, what it is that you need to do in order to systemize your business. It is so important that we talk about these 3 essentials, okay? So I'm talking to service-based solopreneurs, service-based independent business owners, okay? So you have your business, you're a team of 1, maybe 2, but mainly 1, and you're basically doing everything. You're doing the marketing, the shipping, and all that good kind of stuff. So there are three important P's that you want to pay attention to as it relates to your business. The first is a plan. What is your plan for the next 30 days? Now, you should have a plan that extends beyond that. But for just the case of this, the context of this conversation, what is your plan for the next 30 days? Like when you think of an organized, well-run business, what comes to mind? And how can you put that into play for yourself? You've got to have a plan, okay? And you need to know what that is. Think about it and write it down. And let me just say, first of all, breathe. I tell people this in person. I tell people this in emails. Like, I hope they don't get offended, but you have to breathe. Okay. So if you haven't breathed today, take some time to do that now. And I'm telling you to breathe because you need that in order to think. And too often we're too busy. We're doing X, Y, and Z. We're checking emails. We're running here and there. We have meeting after meeting where we have not slowed down to really assess what it is that we need to do in our businesses. So we have no plan. We have an idea, but we don't have a concise plan. So that's number 1. Secondly, you want to have your policy. What is your policy? What are your company policies? What do you abide by? What are your terms and agreement? Like, how do you structure your business? What are your legal policies that protect your business? What are your rules that you have in place that run your business step by step? Here's what we do. Here's how we do it. What is your policy? Because when you have a policy in place, it's easier to implement systems because you know what it is that you need to automate. You know what it is that you don't want to continue to do over and over. So you need certain policies in place. You need rules in place. You need some boundaries. You need structure in place in order to run your business. So let me just give you some examples, right, from my experience, from my clients, and just things that I know. If I want to do business with you, how do I contact you? What's the protocol for contacting you? What is your turnaround time for responding back? You know, if I want a consultation, how do I schedule a consultation? How long is the consultation? What can I expect to receive in the consultation? What happens after the consultation? When you get a client, how do they pay you? What methods of payment do you have? Do you have a late fee? Do you accept, what methods, what forms of payment? Contracts, how do you send your contracts out? How should they be signed? All of these are within your policy. So you have to have a plan for organization. Then you have to have policies in place. One important thing that I added to my contracts last year was I only communicate with the persons that signed the contract. So if you did not sign the contract, I don't talk to, or I don't do business with the team, right? If the team didn't sign the contract, the team is not mentioned in the contract, I'm not discussing the project with a third party. For example, I had a situation one time where I was doing work for a company, but the person that paid for the project was not in the company, and the person that paid for the project wanted to talk to me directly, and it was just too many hands in the pot. So I said, you know what? I didn't have a policy in place to outline this, right? Another policy that I have, and I'm going to do another broadcast on just mistakes I made in business and systems I set in place to avoid those mistakes. So another policy I have in place is I do systems. If you do business with me, it takes, my turnaround time is 4 to 6 weeks. That's why I always encourage people, try, do your best to plan ahead. Things happen. We don't always foresee changes and pivots that we have to make. But I know for my client load, I know for my turnaround, I know that I don't like to work all day. I don't like to work hard. I don't hustle. I work with grace and I flow. I don't like to be overwhelmed. So I pace myself 4 to 6 weeks. Typically, if someone needs something less than that, if it's, a complex job, I most likely won't pick it up. If I foresee it to be easy, I might pick it up if it takes less than 4 weeks. But what I have recently learned as well, and just being fully transparent, as we talk about organizing and systemizing our businesses, even the smallest jobs that you think won't take long will most likely take longer than you expect. So in order to keep the client happy, you want to make sure that you say, you know what, this is my turnaround time. I'm sorry that I can't do it quicker than that, but it's best that you front load with honesty. Like you start the project with honesty instead of saying, oh, I can do it, and have the backtrack and tell the client, oh, I really can't do it. Like I've done it. It does not feel good, because your ultimate goal is to make sure that the client is happy and that you execute the project that you were trusted to do. Okay, so have your policies in place, because you don't want to be out here selling cars that look good, but what's under the hood is nothing, right? You don't want to be out here selling lemons. You don't want to deliver a service that's like lemons. You don't want to, you want to present yourself well, okay? And then the third thing is people. So when we talk about jumpstarting your business, organizing your business, getting systemized, you want to have a plan in place. You want to have your policies in place. And then thirdly, you want to think about people, okay? Plan, policy, people. What is the experience like? What is it like doing business with you beyond your website, beyond your social media graphics? What is it like doing business with you? The way that you engage with your clients is a story in itself, right? And so though we're not perfect, and we never will be, we can always work to edify our processes so that our clients, from initial contact to the invoice, to after the invoice, in post-project, you want the process to be smooth. You want it to be pleasant. You want it to be very professional as possible. Again, you're a solopreneur. You're doing so much. And many of you are, there's different name for a dualpreneur, whatever, parallelpreneur, whatever we say out here now, but you work full time, and also you have your business. It's a lot. And when you work all day full time and you have to kind of switch gears to start your business, it's a lot, especially if you have clients that don't work full time and they work their business all day. They move quicker. They might have tighter timelines that you're able to accommodate. So just, like I say, breathe. Think about what your plan is. Think about what policies you need in place, and think about how do you really want your clients to feel. One thing I like to do here and there is send cards and gifts to clients. And there's a way that I teach my clients to do this, but the turnaround time in many aspects should be quick as well. You have to be on your feet. You have to be on your feet. And how do you stay on your feet? How can you be 10 toes down and make sure you're as efficient as possible? By having your plan and policies in place, right? You're going to satisfy people. If you have your plan and policies in place, you're going to feel good in the way that you operate in your business when you have your plan and your policies in place. So when it comes to organizing your business, you want to have those 3 essentials. And so your plan, your policies, and your customer experience, people, is how you will mold what systems you need in order to plug it into a CRM system. Now, you all know my favorite CRM system, business platform that I use. It is the only one that I use right now. And that's what my clients use because I set it up for them. I talk about what is your plan? What are your policies? And then what should the customer experience be like? And then we set up those different pieces in the software. So that's like, what type of emails do you send out? What do you say in those emails? What is the flow? What happens first, second, third, fourth, and fifth when working with you? And let me just say this. It is so important to build a business structure in which you can really take your hands off of some things. If you find yourself having to manually do so much, especially at the beginning phases of your client's journey, you might want to think about streamlining a little better. Okay, because we become overwhelmed, we have deadlines that become stressful, we impose deadlines and pressure on other people because we have these tight deadlines and we're always manually doing something. So one thing I told, to all of my clients, especially when we go through their business strategy session, like, we might have to change some things up, because if you have to go back and manually edit and change so many things, because your process is different for every client, that could be exhausting. Just imagine you going to Chick-fil-A and they're saying, "Oh, we don't have a menu, just tell us what you want." Okay, I want steak, I want chicken, I want lobster. Okay, that's card number one. Card number two comes up. "Oh, I would like shrimp, I would like clams, and I want a peanut butter jelly sandwich." That's card number two. Card number three. "Oh, can we have a bowl of cereal? Can we have a lollipop? And can we have an ice cream cone?" It's a lot going on, right? And so you want to ask yourself, how can I streamline and simplify just a little more so that I can implement structure to where I don't have to manually manipulate everything in my business, And I'm going to do another stream on that, actually with one of my clients who came on board some years back, and she was like, "Girl, all my clients are different. I do something different for everybody." And I said, "Okay, we can systemize as much as possible, but if we have cookie cutter for every single client, things won't flow as smooth without you having to, manually change things." And now she has brick and mortar, she has buildings in different cities, and we had to streamline and simplify some things so that she didn't have to have her hands on every single process. And you know what? You have to trust the process too. You have to trust systems to help you do the job, right? So how can you jumpstart your systems for the next 30 days? Okay, how can you start? So, you know what? I need to just slow down. I need to get my business in order so that I can not be the secretary of my business and focus on what my passion really is. Focus on the reason why I really started my business. So you're going to think about your plan, come up with your plan, write it down. What are your policies? How is your business going to run? Even if you have policies in place, go back and revisit them. What were your most recent mistakes? What were your most recent client experiences, positive and not so positive? You might need some policies in place to take care of that. Are people not paying their invoices on time? There's so much that, so many things, so many policies that you need in place to set as boundaries to build into your systems, right? So have your plan, have your policy, and then think about people. When you serve people, what do you want their experience to be like? You're not the best you won't be the best, right? I lied. That's not true. That's not what I'm trying to say. You won't always be at your peak 100%, but you will have, if you have your plan and your policies in place, you have a set structure on what your client experience should be. So how your client should be treated, how you want them to feel, how you want the process to go. And that's so important. The client experience is so important because you don't want people to regret doing business with you. You don't want people to regret paying you. You don't want people to experience buyer's remorse, right? So yes, so I hope this helps. If you have any questions, do drop them below. Again, I'm Tiffany Marshall from the System Suite, where we help service-based solopreneurs get more done by doing less work. How? By organizing and systemizing their business, by setting up their systems into the 17 Hats CRM business platform. Thank you for watching and talk to you soon.